So it's only January 8th of 2024, and already Bob Iger and Disney are making all the wrong decisions that are only going to propel them into a very terrible 2025, which, by the way, was already tainted to begin with, based on many of the expensive failures in production, such as Snow White, Captain America 4, Thunderbolts, and let's not forget about both Blade and Fantastic Four. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the great and kind support. So, one thing about Bob Iger, and I know I always bring this up, but he likes to lie to both what he calls the customers and even the shareholders. He's really stringing along the shareholders and lying to their face about what Disney is going through right now and reassuring them that Disney is not in any kind of, trouble, so to speak, across all divisions, such as Walt Disney Animation Studios, Lucasfilm, Marvel Studios, and a whole lot more. Now, what's even all the more revealing has a lot to do with what Bob Iger was able to confirm about the ongoing financial challenges within Disney and how this is really beginning to become quite clear that Disney could not survive until the end of 2026 or when it comes to Bob Iger's contract end. This is exactly why there's a big board of directors shakeup happening where some members are already getting pretty much against Bob Iger, and are really beginning to question his overall stance and leadership skills. Now, interestingly enough, what is, of course, very apparent at this point is that divisions such as Lucasfilm and Marvel Studios, these are the ones that are taking big hits. Walt Disney Animation Studios is also another one after the Wish box office collapse. However, on top of this, with all divisions over at Disney beginning to head into a disaster due to Bob Iger's third phase of his cost containment plan going active that will go into full effect by the second quarter of this year, one major development has to do with Bob Iger delivering a crucial update to the current status of Lucasfilm, where he dropped the following. One of our most important divisions, part of the Disney company that we are now actively attempting to right-size, is Lucasfilm, responsible for all of our upcoming Star Wars installments in various forms of development. As per our cost containment plan as CEO, I felt it was our most effective decision to reduce spending and funds on all marketing strategies for upcoming Lucasfilm-related television programs, for Disney Plus, and for our theatrical releases for the years to come. With our budget cuts going into effect immediately to focus on a smaller scale production per every film and series, this will also allow us to right-size not just the amount of cast and crew that we have on board of these projects, but also to tighten our stories to become smaller scale, that will demand less employees across the board to work on these productions that will reshape the Lucasfilm company. With our upcoming projects such as The Acolyte and/or Season 2, Skeleton Crew, The Bad Batch Season 3, and so many other installments, we here at Lucasfilm and Disney believe it was the right direction to dial back on our marketing expenses and to discover new ways of marketing these projects. I would also like to acknowledge that we are aiming to right-size one of our divisions drastically for the number of employees working on upcoming animated projects, such as Pixar Animation Studios. This will include a series of cancellations from our current unannounced film slate that we will be making publicly available in the next few months to our customers and shareholders around the globe. We felt it was also necessary to reduce our funds on marketing expenses for our upcoming release Inside Out 2 that we hope will be one of our most successful additions in recent years for our animated projects. Now, guys, let me just say one thing about Inside Out 2, and I'm going to make it real quick before I move on, is that I am not hopeful at all about that really becoming a box office success. And look, I'm not defending Disney by any means, but at this point, everything seems to be 100% deliberate and intentional by Bob Iger. In fact, I don't even think it's what it seems. I think it's pretty much a fact at this point that what Bob Iger is doing is intentionally throwing Disney into the ground for some odd reason. Now, we know that a lot of these upcoming releases, of course, are going to back off on marketing expenses, very much similar to what they did with Indiana Jones 5, the Marvels, and let's not forget about Wish. Those are the big three examples of marketing cutbacks that did impact those films on a specific level, but they aren't the only thing to blame, of course. It's not the only thing to blame of why they failed at the box office. A lot of it had to do with Disney's overall direction, both story-wise and what they were doing with the production, you know, such as cutting back on funds of the overall production itself. That's why a lot of movies are coming across very cheap looking. When you look at the movie Wish, even the animation was off. I know a lot of you will agree with me on this, but the animation was way off, something that really came across as something that really should not have been so expensive. Now, what's interesting about that is Bob Iger has a lot more to talk about when it comes to Lucasfilm, surprisingly. He's confirming that there's a lot of marketing cutbacks happening as we speak, that there's going to be also, he touched on this recently, that there will be further cancellations with the Lucasfilm film slate as well as TV shows that have either been announced and or unannounced. So don't be too shocked if, for example, some of the movies that are already announced get canceled, such as the new Jedi Order film, or even the first Jedi film that's going to be led by the Indiana Jones 5 director. And to top it all off, we also have a number of employees across all divisions of Lucasfilm, or should I say of Disney, including Lucasfilm, getting cut down drastically. Now, on top of that too, he goes on to conclude, separate from, of course, what, you know, he had to deliver. Let me just say one thing here quick, is that Bob Iger does not know what he's doing, alright? He 100% knows what he's doing by far as the agenda goes, everything related to DEI, but he doesn't understand the audience, is what I'm saying. So, apart from what Iger also had to say here, alright, Iger also recently greenlit a plan with the board of directors, surprisingly, to purge a certain percentage of Disney Plus content, be it movies or TV shows that received low engagement levels to reduce spending on unnecessary bandwidth usage. At the same time, Iger and the board just approved 3 rate hikes behind the scenes for Disney Plus plans for both the ad and non-ad plans, 2 of which will be minor hikes, on which, of course, one of which will be the significant one, that will likely drive customers away from the service completely. So basically totaling out to 3 rate hikes for 2024. Again, I want to be very clear on that, 2 of which being minor hikes, the other of which being a very significant hike toward the tail end of 2024. Not a good image for Disney, while also removing said content that is receiving low engagement. And you can only imagine what that means. I mean, I would not be too shocked if they remove Indiana Jones 5 off of the Disney Plus platform, or if they remove some Star Wars material off of there that has received low engagement. So that's not a big shocker, but what is a big shocker is the fact that Bob Iger does not necessarily see this as a fail. He has said this many, many times, that regardless of all the cutbacks, of all the right sizing, of all these transformative plans that they have in place, that he is not concerned about Disney's financial status in the short and or long term of things. And that's basically his way of keeping the shareholders in line. So overall, guys, you know, drop a comment below, fill me in below in the comments what you all have to say about this, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.